Hi, Joon. It's been a long time since we last seen each other.
꽤 한 몇 달 된 것 같아요. 벌써
I
한 두 달.
know, but a lot has happened since we last talked. I'm sure you've been watching the news as well. There's been a shooting in Atlanta where 8 people were killed, the majority of them being Asian Americans.
미국뿐만 아니라 한국에서도 소식이 많이 전해져서 많이들 걱정하고 계시고 쌤이 조지아 출신이잖아요.
Yeah, I am from Georgia, and there's a lot for me to kind of think about and process because my family is still out there. Personally, just thinking about it, it brings a lot of fear into my life. 3,800 incidences have happened in the past year since COVID started. Joon, how have you been kind of handling this and thinking about this? Like, what are some thoughts that are going through your mind as you see this on TV?
미국에서는 그래도 자주 듣는 이런 또 총기 사건이 있었구나 했는데 피해자 대부분이 한국 분들이고 또 아시아 출신 사람들이잖아요. 미국에 사는 이 이민자로서 갖게 되는 약간 그 공포가 있거든요. 내가 차별을 받을 수 있다거나 누가 날 싫어하는 사람이 있을지도 모르겠다라는 생각을 무심코 좀 속으로 하고 있었던 것 같아요.
Right, like you know, as you go out in public as someone who is Asian, you don't necessarily think like, oh, I'm going to be attacked or I'm going to be shot by somebody, but you do have a higher level of fear of going out. It's like, could somebody attack me? Could I be the victim of some sort of violence against me? That is a real fear that a lot of people are going through.
그 생각이 예전에는 좀 더 깊은 곳에 있었다면 이번 사건을 통해서 조금 더 의식이 되는 일상생활에서 돌아다닐 때도 사람을 마주하면은 누구나 내가 서비스를 받을 일이 있고 또 뭐 그로서리 쇼핑을 가도 계산할 때도 사람들이 친절하게 인사를 해주고 저를 대하는데 약간의 의심을 자꾸 하게 되는 것 같아요.
Yeah, there's that level of suspicion that you have. It's, you know, even going to the grocery store or meeting with the cashier, and they're saying hello with a smile and how are you, but as you're leaving, you're wondering, it's like, what is that person really thinking about me? Just carrying that with you every single day can be a big burden. But that fear really came to life for me when I thought about some of these acts of violence that have happened to older Asian Americans. And I start thinking about my own family, and I start thinking about my parents who still live in Georgia. You know, when I first heard the incident, I'll be honest, I think I was a little numb to it because there were just so many stressors that I've been dealing with that my body naturally just tries to not deal with it. Does that make sense?
어느 정도의 우리가 감당하기 조금 힘든 사건을 우리가 접하게 되면 모르는 척 하려는 마음도 생기는 것 같고 그래서 처음에는 그렇게 크게 다가오지 않았는데 점점 내 삶과 연관이 지어지면서 마음속에 있었던 그 두려움, 공포도 점점 커지는 것 같아요.
Yeah, and most of it was coming from a place of anger because on one end I was in conversations with Asian Americans who were about, let's take action, we need to do things now. And then the other end, there were other Asian Americans who were trying to tell me it's not that big a deal. Like, this is not something that we need to be concerned about. And balancing between those two and defending myself and what I believe was just overwhelming at the time. So bringing back to, you know, my worry about my parents, I was talking with a friend of mine in New York, and you know, I was just checking in with him, see how he was doing, and I remember he said that he and his wife were thinking about buying pepper spray for his parents. It was at that moment, I remember, I felt so much fear just wash over my body because it made me really think, oh, my parents could be in danger. Oh, my parents could be attacked. Oh, my parents could be killed. Yeah, and it's just this overwhelming level of fear and stress that comes in. It's just, I don't know what I need to do about this. Like, what is it that needs to be done?
페퍼 스프레이라는 것도 정말 최소한의 어떤 대책인 거잖아요. 마치 밖에 나가서 호랑이나 이런 걸 마주칠 수 있는 상황에 이쑤시개를 들고 나가는.
I love that phrase. It's like, am I going to go fight a tiger with a toothpick? It's like, sure, it may not be what needs to be done, but still it's something more than nothing. So why don't we talk about kind of how we're handling this stress, because it's not just thinking about how to protect ourselves.
이게 한 번의 사건으로 다시는 안 생길 일이다라고 말하기는 어렵기 때문에 우리가 정신적으로 그 생각과 두려움에 대한 대처죠. 우리를 어떻게 보호할지. 쌤은 어떻게 생각하세요? 그런 문제에 대해서?
You know, you got to find ways to take breaks from it. I know that if I just constantly read the news or even constantly go through my Facebook feed, that fear just grows and grows and grows and grows. And so, some of the ways that I take care of myself is, I've been reaching out to my family and chat with them and making sure that they're safe and that they're taking care of themselves. I check in with my friends, and I take breaks throughout the day and kind of do other things rather than just watching the news and going through it over and over. It doesn't get rid of all the stress, but it relieves some of it so that I can move forward. We didn't have a real plan for what we were going to say, nor did we have a call to action or anything. It was just, we were thinking about the people who would be watching our videos, and it's like, don't forget to kind of take care of yourself through all this.
이런 문제를 좀 더 깊게 우리를 어떻게 보호할지, 그리고 이런 정신적으로 트라우마틱한 이벤트가 있을 때 그럴 때 어떻게 대처할지에 대해서 우리가 좀 더 깊게 대화해보고 그런 시간을 만들어 보려고 하죠.
Yeah, I think we can talk more about how to handle some of these traumatic events, especially since this is one of those collective traumatic events that all of us are going through together. I think we definitely will do an episode later on about it.
잘 만들어지면은 다시 또 그걸로 찾아뵈서 인사드리기로 하고 오늘은 이만하도록 하죠.
Yep, I think this is a good place to stop. So, thank you.